With a game as big as GTA 5, even after 11 years, it's impossible to know everything. But whether you started playing GTA 5 11 years ago or you just got it today, I guarantee you don't know everything in this video. So even after 11 years, here is some more stuff you still don't know about GTA 5. This bridge is completely broken. Rockstar only added this bridge into the game in GTA Online when facilities were introduced in 2017, and for some reason, any NPCs have no clue how to interact with it. So enjoy a few seconds of footage of cops just having no clue what to do. During the Diamond Casino heist, when you're doing the big con approach, this guard is always at the vault. But for some reason, when you do the aggressive or the silent and sneaky approaches, he's nowhere to be seen. Well, there's actually a reason for that. On your way out of the vault after you do the big con approach, if you're completely undetected, you'll hear one of the other guards say this.
Y'all done in here? Hey, listen, that fella on the vault door, how'd he look? We snuck a double strength laxative in his coffee. He'll be shitting slurry in his britches by now.
So that means in the aggressive and silent and sneaky approaches, the guard isn't there because he's actually in the toilets, you know, dealing with that. This might be the most rare animation in the entire game. There's a bug in the GTA 5 ragdoll physics when you get hit by a car. In fact, it actually looks a lot like a GTA 4 animation that might have somehow just got carried across. There's a unique animation to the double action revolver that's only available if you use a controller. If you slowly pull down the trigger, you can actually see the hammer on the revolver moving as you pull the trigger down more and more. You can only see this animation in first person and no other players can see it. These red poles or bars on the second top floor of the Mile High Club seem completely normal when you walk into them. But when you get in a vehicle like an oppressor, or if you somehow get a car up here, you can then somehow just phase completely through them. There are women inside the bathrooms that have urinals in the casino. Rockstar actually intentionally included glitches and bugs in some of the cheaper arcade machines. So on some of the cheaper arcade machines like Penetrator, Defender of Faith, or Monkey Paradise, if you press B on Xbox, circle on PlayStation, or R on PC, this will glitch the game out completely. But what's interesting is it doesn't work on any of the more expensive machines. I like to think that Rockstar included this intentionally, because these are the cheaper machines, but hey, you might think that Rockstar didn't mean to include this and it's actually just a bug with GTA. You can decide. At the plant outside of Fort Zancudo, on a lot of these different staircases here, there's a missing step or two. Sometimes it can bug out your animation so that your character can't really run up the staircase cleanly. It overall just seems very strange. Have you ever wondered how to turn your wheels and leave them turned when you get out of the car? No? Well, I'm gonna tell you how to do it anyway. What you have to do is hold down the duck button, the handbrake button, then turn the wheels to the opposite direction to what you want, then rev the engine, and then get out. I know, this sounds like one of those scam tutorials on YouTube or TikTok that you see all the time. I swear this is real, you can see it works. So if you want to get some cool photos at a car meet, for example, that's how you do it. You've probably noticed that there's two different versions of the Cargobob. You've got the Cargobob and then the Cargobob Jetsam. But a lot of people think there's no difference besides the price tag and the paint job, of course. But that's not true. The difference isn't in performance, they're the same speed. It's actually in noise. I'm going to play both of these clips after one another at the exact same volume, and you'll be able to hear, for some reason, that the Cargobob Jetsam is a lot quieter. The bouncer outside of your nightclub really needs his job. If you go up and punch him, he's one of the only NPCs in the entire game that won't actually hit you back. Or just run away, of course.
Shit!
Franklin's office inside the agency is full of Easter eggs. We've covered some of them before, like the "You Own Los Santos" sign, a throwback to Franklin's single-player poster where it said Los Santos owns you. Of course, Franklin's story has now most likely concluded, and he's conquered Los Santos, which is why the poster has changed. But there's actually a few other really cool Easter eggs that you might not have noticed. Here you can see the "Welcome Back, We Missed You Last Time" artwork in a frame. If you haven't seen this sign before, it's one of the most iconic artworks in the game, because this mural or graffiti is actually in Franklin's street. It goes a bit deeper than that though, because this artwork was shown in the very first gameplay reveal trailer for GTA 5, and this was Rockstar's way of welcoming all of the players back to Los Santos, because the last game to take place in Los Santos was in 2004 with San Andreas. But what about this artwork of Chop? You can see pretty clearly that he's chewing on a purple bandana. This is actually a throwback to one of the main loading screens and artworks for GTA 5, where Chop just chewed up a purple LS Panic jersey. Apart from that, there's a few other returning Easter eggs from Franklin's rooms in single player, like the Employee of the Month sign, photos of a younger Franklin with his auntie Denise, and even the same 3 baseball jerseys that are in his bedroom in his Vinewood house. If you're like me and you have a safe in one of your properties, you might not know how it actually works. The bottom level of the safe is filled up with money that's in the player's bank account, with the maximum amount being $1 million, which is why you can see it's full here. The top level though, that's for your casino chips, and this can actually fill up all the way to 12 million chips. I don't know anyone that has 12 million chips, but I'd love to see what this looks like if it's full. The price of pizza in Los Santos is $2,000. How do we know this? Well, every time you deliver a pizza, you get at least $2,000. You want to talk about inflation in real life? How about Los Santos, man? That is crazy. The Diamond Casino and Resort actually holds a fundraiser for the valet Felipe because of how many times he's been killed. When you're doing the Diamond Casino heist, you can see this poster here. It says, "A fundraiser for our valet Felipe benefit this Friday. Help cover his healthcare expenses from injuries while on the job. Play cornhole, lawn darts, and enjoy unlimited tequila shots." Speaking of the Diamond Casino heist, if you find all of the 54 playing cards across the map, you'll permanently unlock a high roller outfit, and you can use this outfit as an exit disguise for the casino heist, which means you never have to actually do a prep mission to get the exit disguises. I'm going to give you a tip that will sometimes occasionally save you about 2 seconds. I know, you can thank me in the comments below. When you're in one of your MC businesses, instead of walking to the door to leave, you can actually just set yourself up as a CEO, and because CEOs aren't meant to be in MC businesses, you'll immediately leave. So there you go, I saved you a few seconds, and I probably wasted more of your time actually explaining that than you're gonna save. But hey, the more you know. You know those annoying phone calls from English Dave that you can't hang up on? Well, of course you can stop those phone calls by actually doing what he tells you to do, but we don't want to do that. If you actually want to cancel these mid-phone call, you can do that just by clicking both of your analog sticks in at the same time while you're on the call.
Now kind of music.
Being in first-person mode significantly reduces your recoil. Here's some footage of me not trying to control the recoil at all, and I just let the gun do what it wants to do. You can see the difference, it's pretty staggering. The Cargo Bob is one of the most fun vehicles in the game to mess around with. You can pick up almost every vehicle in the game, even if your friends are inside, and that includes things like a tank, so you could fly around like a roaming AC-130. You probably already know that. I wanted to share another fact with you, and that is that you can pick up cardboard boxes with the Cargo Bob. What you do with this information now is completely up to you. I just wanted to let you know. But if you wanted to, go ahead, pick up one of these cardboard boxes with the Cargo Bob, put it on top of Mount Chiliad, and then send it to me on Twitter at TGGOddYT. I want to see if anyone's actually going to do it. There's a mechanic in racing in GTA Online called Catch Up. This mechanic makes it so that if you fall behind in a race, your car will actually go faster than other people, and you can catch up. Quite literally, a catch-up mechanic. Pretty simple. But for some strange reason, there is one car that is completely immune to catch-up. That car is the Tesseract. Rockstar never gave us any reason as to why this is a thing. We don't even know if it's intentional or a bug, so it seems like this one's gonna stay a mystery. The flare gun is the only weapon in the entire game that you can aim directly up, which, now that I think about it, kinda makes sense, but it is strange that you can't aim any other weapon this high. In your heist prep room in your high-end apartment, this magazine has a famous Breaking Bad quote on the front of it, "Say my name." Of course, this is what Walter White says in the final season. We've covered a lot of the secrets in GTA 5's Ocean before, but one you might not have seen is this diving chamber or decompression chamber that's been completely abandoned. If you're claustrophobic, you might want to look away right now, but typically these are designed for one person to lay inside so that the diver's body can adjust to the difference in pressure from underwater to above water. Long story short, it helps people safely return to the surface, but for some reason it's been completely abandoned, and now all you can hear are some metal clanking sounds as you go nearby. Spooky. If you own an agency, you can call Amani to request a motorcycle nearby. But Rockstar included a few Easter eggs to some specific bikes in here as well. For example, you can get the LCC Sanctus Halloween-themed bike by calling Amani between 10 PM and 2 AM in-game, but the weather needs to be foggy, raining, storming, or a Halloween weather, and you need to be standing within this orange area on the map. You can also get a Shotaro, but there's some requirements for this one as well. It needs to be storming, again, or Halloween weather, and the player needs to own an arcade. Once those conditions are met, if you go to the orange area here, Amani can spawn a Shotaro. There's also some rare police bikes that you can get Amani to spawn, but I've covered that before. I'll leave that in a link down below if you want to check that out. What's also interesting about Amani is all of these bikes will be black, except for 2, and these are pretty rare ones as well. So occasionally you'll get a Sanchez that has a green Sprunk livery on it, as well as a Hexa. Don't know why these 2 aren't black, but yeah. The Bravado Paradise only has 4 liveries. That's kind of strange, but that's not what we're talking about. 2 of these liveries have special Easter eggs in them. The first one is Shark, where if you look closely in the background of all the seaweeds here, you can see a crashed UFO, which of course references the crashed UFO that you can find on the map. We've also got the Logger livery, which if you look closely back in the trees there in the forest, you can actually see Bigfoot walking around. These liveries were released very early in GTA 5's lifespan, and while these Easter eggs are really common knowledge now, they weren't so common back when the game first came out. You can lose your wanted level at any time by having a job ready from Simeon in your phone. Just start the job and you'll lose your wanted level. This is really useful if you can't call Lester to lose the cops, because this will automatically do it. If you didn't know, in your interaction menu under the MC President tab, the game will tell you what your favorite model of bike is. So if you don't know which bike you spend the most time on, this is how you tell. You can remove the windows from the Yuga van when you customize it, in LS Customs for example, but when you go outside and shoot where the side windows normally were, it'll still break the glass and make a sound, even though there's no glass there. When you bet at the table in the casino, whenever your character puts chips on the table, Rockstar actually uses the exact same model of chips, no matter how much you actually bet. Instead of making different models, they actually just hid the rest of the stack below the table. That way they can just increase the stack higher up through the table as you bet more. A rather interesting workaround to just making different animations and models. And thank you to Lucas7Yoshi for finding this on Twitter. And that is more stuff you still don't know about GTA 5. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more stuff like this, click one of the 2 videos on your screen if you haven't seen them yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Boys.
Favorite color, money green. I've been on my grind since I was in the 7th grade. Had my first kid, I was only 17. Always a provider for my pack like Wolverines. But you won't find me on the mountaintop.